In this lesson, we're going to talk a little bit about visibility graphics and work sharing with a linked file. So what we're going to do here, I'm just going to go synchronize with Central and relinquish everything in this file. Okay, just so my Central file is most up to date. I don't need to close this. I can leave it open. Okay, and then we'll go over here to Doug, and he's going to do the same thing. So everyone kind of synchronizes and saves. Okay, Compact Central, you should do that once in a while when you synchronize, is set this. It's a bit slower, but it actually is a better way to do that once in a while. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this Central file, link it into a new file. And the new file isn't going to necessarily have to have Worksets enabled. Watch, we're going to go in here. I'm going to say New Project. And I'm going to browse, and I'm actually going to go use the metric because this is a metric project. Templates, US metric, default. The Canadian metric is terrible. Don't use that. Default metric. So now I'm in a basic file. No Worksets enabled in here or anything so far. Now I'm going to go in Insert, and I'll say Link a Revit file, and I'm going to go to my Y drive and go grab that Central gallery. Okay, bring it in. Auto center to center, no problem. I have some options in here, work set all, or I can actually specify, and it because it knows it's a Central file, and I can bring in specific work sets. When I hit open, it's going to prompt me, okay, which ones I want to be visible in this view. So these are the different ones. Do I want to make them editable? Do I want to open them? Yes. So that's all good. So I just went with the default. I could have chose to turn them off or done what I want. So now I've linked in that file. Locally, I don't have Worksets enabled. Okay, but this linked file did have Worksets enabled. Now it's interesting that if there is Worksets in this file I'm in and the names are the same as the ones that are in here, then you can control visibility easily because your Worksets have the same names in the local host file. I shouldn't say local, in the host file versus the linked file. This is a linked file with Worksets. If you link a file with Worksets into a file that has Worksets and there's Worksets with the same names, it really makes it easier to control all of their visibility globally for obvious reasons. So now watch, on a view-to-view basis, I can go into my visibility graphics, and over here it says Revit links. Okay, if I click on there and I go in and I look at this, okay, if I click on here and I say go to custom, okay, once I switch this to custom, I can go back to here and I can change this to say custom again, and I can turn these on and off. Watch how I did this. I'm going to hit cancel, cancel. Okay, in this view, I'm going to hit visibility graphics. I'm going to go to here, okay, Revit links, okay, and then in here I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to change this to say custom, and now I'm going to go back to here and change this to say custom, and now I can go in and turn off whatever specific Worksets visibility, and then hit apply and hit OK. And OK, now I've basically turned off the visibility of individual Worksets in this view in this project. If I go to my level 1, it's not going to be the same thing. Okay, I can change my detail level here to be fine detail. Okay, I have to go into here again, Revit links, click on here, change this to say custom, go back to here, take this, custom, exterior walls, turn it off, furniture, turn it off, hit apply, hit OK, hit OK. So I'm turning Worksets on and off through a linked file. Okay, now if you happen to have, if I go into here and you go into Revit links, you can just leave this and say halftone if you want and apply that, and it'll make it halftone. You can make it an underlay, which means that it won't travel with the other file, just like in AutoCAD, whether it's an underlay or a full link. Okay, and then inside of here, if you click on here and you say by host view, okay, if you have the same work sets, it'll just follow them. You don't have to do this because it'll just go by the work sets of the local file. Okay, so by host view, by linked view, okay, or custom. So this is the same rules with our visibility. The only difference is now we can go in here and look by host file, by linked view, by custom. So you can control the different visibility of these work sets of the linked file depending on how this is set over here. And that just takes a bit of practice. So that's really no different from what we've been doing all along with our visibility graphics and our links. It's just that now we're throwing work sets into the ring at the same time. So some good information on using work sets with linked files. Now the other thing you might want to do is this. South view. Okay, we had our level 1 and our level 2s here. Okay, if I use my tab button, there's my level 1. So if I try to click on that, and can I move it? Let's take this. Oh, there's my level 1 over there. So I'm going to take, this is the level 1 that was in my view, right? And these are the levels that came with the linked view. Okay, so these are local in my project. These are workset link levels. So this is where I might want to go into my visibility graphics and go over to Revit links and go to here and say custom, and then go back to worksets, change this to say custom, and then shared levels and grids, turn them off so that I don't see those in that particular view. And then I only have my levels. And that works the same with grid lines. So there's a good example of where you might want to turn off the levels and the grids of the linked file based on the work set. Okay, so yeah, some great stuff on linking and work sets. And that wraps up all the lessons I've got here on my outline for this lesson on work sharing and Revit architecture, structure, and MEP 2012. We are getting excited for Revit Server. It's still, from what I understand, it's up and working. There's a few people, you can Google it, but this is what's coming up soon is Connect to Revit Server. You can go right in there and put an IP address and start using Revit Server to communicate with work sets in different locations and people on different domains, etc. So I'll be excited to be doing a lesson on Revit Server as soon as we get that teed up. So bye for now. Hope you learned something about work sets.